Hey sports fans, good afternoon, happy Saturday. Welcome to All Angles. I'm Arthur Bwakanawa. Let's start with our top story here. Bulls coach Jake Wyatt will hold coaching clinics for rugby players aged between 5 and 9 years old. The program, which is driven by Bulls main sponsors, will also empower rugby coaches. Wyatt will be joined by his defense coach Joey Mongala when he brings the young girls and boys into the speed with the basics of the game. So joining me to chat about this, president of the Bulls Rugby Union, is Willem Strauss. A very good afternoon, Mr. Strauss. It's great to have you on this Saturday afternoon. How will those who might not have access to internet benefit from the Jake Kickstart program? I mean, for example, the residents of Soshanguve, Mamelodi and the greater Pretoria North area, who are some die-hard rugby fans and don't want to register with football, still would love to be a part of the beautiful game of rugby, but they've got limited access, Mr. Strauss.
Yeah, no, thank you for hosting me. Yeah, you know, obviously, hopefully with the COVID numbers that keeps on decreasing, we should be close to normal pretty soon, and then we'll take this out to the townships and to the schools in the rural districts as well. This is just an interim situation because of the circumstances we live in. As you can see, I'm actually now here at the Live Schools tournament in Pretoria at the Wilgers Hoërskool. So slowly but surely we are returning to some kind of new normal, as they say.
Fantastic, Mr. Strauss. I mean, describe now the successful case studies within the 5 to 9-year-old age group for girls in particular. And I'll tell you what, I mean, how do you introduce them to the sports? I think it's much easier with boys, surely, Mr. Strauss.
Yeah, no, obviously, but fortunately their dads played rugby, so that's a little bit of inside situation. But yeah, you know, the Biliki rugby program is very important for us. We got around 6,000 to 7,000 to 8,000 players participating over the last years pre-COVID, and that's where you learn the love and the culture for the game. And that's also the age group where you install the values of rugby, you know, and I think the values of this beautiful sport is so much needed in our society as a whole. You know, the healthy lifestyle, the discipline, working for one another, the camaraderie, everything that goes with that. You learn about losing, you learn about winning. So it's not just a sport, it's actually a whole sort of school where we hopefully develop not only good rugby players but also good citizens for this country.
Awesome, Willem. South Africa has a great wealth of skillful coaches, I mean, itching to showcase their talent. And when we think of the system that some of the world's best teams have established over the years, one puts South Africa right at the top with the rest of the world in terms of producing and unearthing some raw talent. What's been some of the challenges you have faced as a president of the Blue Bulls?
Yeah, you know, obviously the normal challenges that we face in South Africa with everyday life. There's a lot of people, like you said, who don't have access to internet, but also, you know, transport, stuff like that. Just basic stuff that they need to move forward in life. But we, you know, in terms of our strategy, we got some youth clubs and clubs established in the townships. The game is growing, and if we want to stay relevant, if the game of rugby want to stay relevant in years to come, you know, we need to get those people interested in playing rugby and supporting rugby. So it's very important for us, and this is a big tool, you know, especially if you can teach a child the love of the game at that age of 6, 7, 8 years old. You should stay, you know, loyal to the game and play the game, or at least follow the game in years to come. And as you correctly mentioned now, also the girls, women's rugby is a huge priority. It's part of I think it is the second biggest priority now in the world of rugby. You know, behind the 15th men's, probably the World Cup there. So we want to grow the women's game, and we started the Women's League this year actually, with 6 teams participating, most of them from the townships. And it's really encouraging to see how that aspect of rugby is also growing.
Oh, Willem Strauss, I wish I could have spoken to you for a few more minutes, but we've run out of time. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to the sports fans and fraternity right here on eNCA. That was the Blue Bulls Rugby Union President, Willem Strauss. I'll bring